welcome to the e-commerce podcast with me, your host, Matt Edmondson. This podcast, this show is all about helping you deliver e-commerce wow. Yes, it is. And to do that, I'm super excited to chat to today's guest today from CartBoss about how to use SMS marketing for e-commerce. What a great topic that is. And to do that justice and to give it make it a bit more well-rounded. And because so many new people are subscribing to the show at the moment, one of the things I want to do is just give a quick shout out to some of the past guests and episodes we've had. Given that we are in fact talking about SMS marketing for e-commerce, I thought you might enjoy the following episode. So once you've listened to this one, check out my interview with Valentin Radu on maximizing the lifetime value of a customer. I've got to know Valentin since that recording. He's an absolute legend, let me tell you. Such a great guy, full of insight. Definitely check out his episode, as well as Raoul's episode called Referral Marketing Just Got Easy. One of my favorite titles, if I'm honest with you. Such a great conversation with Raoul. Definitely check that out too. Now, this episode is brought to you by the e-commerce cohort, which helps to deliver e-commerce wow to your customers. What is the e-commerce cohort, I hear you say? Well, let me tell you, now you may well have come across folks who have got stuck with their e-commerce business, or maybe siloed into working on just one or two areas of their business, and they missed the kind of bigger picture, which is what happened to me, if I'm honest with you. There's a story behind that which I often tell on other people's podcasts when I get interviewed, and how it cost me, we lost millions as a result of that. So cohort has sort of been born out of that pain, if you like. The e-commerce cohort is a lightweight membership group with guided monthly sprints that cycle through all the key areas of e-commerce with the sole purpose of providing you with clear, actionable jobs to be done for your online business. So you'll know what to work on, when to work on it, and more importantly, you'll have the support and accountability to get it done. So whether you are just starting out in e-commerce, or if, like me, you've been around for a while, a well-established e-commercer, as I like to call us, then I definitely encourage you to go and check out ecommercecohort.com as it's gearing up for its founding member launch. Now, you can also email me directly at matt@ecommercepodcast.net with any questions that you have, because let me tell you, this is something that I am super proud of. We have done the online courses in the past. Yes, we have. We have done all kinds of crazy things, all of which I'm proud of and all of which have been good. And Cohort is taking all of that learning, putting everything together in a very affordable monthly membership for the founding members, let me tell you. So do go and check it out. Now, let's jump in today's conversation, shall we? So today's guest is the co-founder of CartBoss, a text messaging solution for recovering abandoned carts. He's a former developer, now focused on running day-to-day operations and achieving the long-term goals for his company. This is a conversation which is literally just touching the surface of SMS marketing and the power and impact it can have on your e-commerce business. So grab your pens, grab your notebooks, have your cup of coffee at the ready, because you're not going to want to miss any of this. Here's my conversation with Tadej. So Tadej, thank you for joining me on the podcast. It is great to have you beaming in from what I can only hope is sunny Holland. But it's great to have you. Thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me. And it's not a sunny day in Holland. Unfortunately, not. It's a typical Dutch weather right now. Gonna start raining soon.
Okay, so it's not just England that has the rain. Holland has its fair share as well.
Oh, yeah. We do have quite a fair share of rain. You can go outside and it's sunny one moment and it's raining the next. So it's an interesting experience. Was not used to it because I'm from Slovenia and I moved here just randomly. And I was quite shocked about the weather conditions here, but it's actually quite nice. I prefer it actually. It's good. So yeah, when I
Okay.
come to England, yeah, I'm gonna be used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be used to it, which is helpful, I think, whenever you're visiting. And so you are from Slovenia. You live in Holland, and you're the co-founder of a company called CartBoss, which is all about SMS or text messaging, as we like to say in England. Um, and one of the things that you mentioned on your website, we're going to get into the whole SMS marketing, text message marketing. One of the stats that really surprised me, which you mentioned on your website, was that 99% of people open text messages, which I'd never really thought about, but I guess it makes sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Everybody just checks out the text message. You're interested. You don't get, as many text messages as you get emails. So it's not a full inbox of them. So the space, for using text messages is quite good because, yeah, you're not full of text messages the whole time. But there's one statistic that's even better. It's that
Okay.
93% of text messages get read within 3 minutes of receiving them. Now that's the statistics actually that I was just amazed at. And that's why it's so
Mm.
powerful to use them because honestly, when you get a text message, you open it usually quite immediately because your phone is constantly with you.
Yeah.
And if you use text messages for remarketing or whatever you want, you get the results instantly. That's why text messages are such a powerful tool in marketing.
That's a really interesting idea that 93% of text messages are read within 3 minutes. Does that mean, without getting too granular in the detail just yet, but does that mean if I send out a text message, I'm going to see the response within the next 3 minutes, and I'm not going to see too much response, maybe 10 minutes after I've sent it. You're going to see the bulk of it within the 3 or 4 minutes of sending it out. Would that be right?
Well, not really. Now I can go a bit technical here because it depends on the level of conversation here. The thing is that when you send out a text message, we can see if a text message has been opened. We can get that information from various API calls and stuff like that. And we can see that a text message has been opened within like a specific time frame. But if we're talking about conversions, meaning that after a text message has been opened and a conversion will be completed within a time span of 5-10 minutes, that's not the case. What happens
Okay.
is that when a text message is sent, it's usually opened and then it's opened again and then it's opened again. It's opened actually a few times usually. And then the conversion occurs in a way that a link is clicked and then the recipient goes to the website and then dabs around the site, again, and then completes the order. It really depends, but mostly if we talk about abandoned cart text messages, those convert a lot faster than usual marketing text messages like post-purchase text messages or win-back text messages, newsletter ones. Uh, but the abandoned cart text messages, those convert almost instantaneously.
Okay. And so, um, we'll come back to that because I want to get into that a little bit. But I guess before I get too caught up in the detail, which is my weakness, I suppose, let's just take a step back because I want to. I'm imagining people who are listening to the show who maybe don't do text messaging marketing or SMS marketing. And so, what would be the benefits of SMS messages for e-commerce marketers? Why? I mean, you've already mentioned that 93% of people are going to open them within the first 3 minutes. We don't get a lot of text messages, but are there some other reasons that we should really think about doing this if we're not already doing it?
Well, I mean, we can think about abandoned cart emails. If you remember them when they started appearing, when people started using them, what happened was they just converted. They gave more. They offered more sale to the stores, to the store owners. And it's the same with text messages. It just gives you another marketing channel to get in contact with your clients, with your customers. The only difference is that the conversion rate is extremely higher. The open rate is just unimaginable. I mean, having an open rate of 99% and a return of investment of somewhere between 2,400%, and some of our users have a return of investment of I think around 7,000%. That's our top user, and a few brands have a return of investment of 5,000%, and not just like for a short time span. We just, like 2 months ago, a large brand that does clothing started using us. Started using CartBoss. Yeah, they constantly just have like a 5,100 and 5,200% return of investment. So you don't lose money. You just sell more stuff, and it's honestly a no-brainer. You've got nothing to lose. Because if you just put in a bit of money, like 10 euros, and you get around 400 euros back, even more, So yeah, it's just useful. And even people, the recipients of the text messages, we check, how many people unsubscribe from the receiving the text messages. On average, there's on 2,000 people that are contacted, one person unsubscribes. So yeah. Wow. Yeah, well, honestly, I thought that more people will unsubscribe.
When you compare that information to email marketing, which of course everybody should be doing, and we say that everybody should be doing email marketing, but it's interesting when you compare those numbers to email marketing, because text messaging then has a dramatically higher open rate. Dramatically higher, you're talking 99%. It seems to have a much bigger return on investment than email marketing. And it seems to have a lower unsubscribe rate than email marketing. At least that's from some of the numbers that you're telling me. I guess it's going to differ from company to company and obviously website to website. So you're going to have to check it out. But it's interesting that you call text messaging marketing a bit of a no-brainer. So when you compare SMS marketing with email marketing, I guess it is a bit of a no-brainer. So when I'm starting out in e-commerce today, I'm thinking, how do I build my e-commerce marketing list? How do I build my email subscribers right? Because I know that long term I need to have a good email marketing system, but how do I do that with text messaging to subscribers? Do I need a strategy which says I need to do this to get new subscribers to my text messaging list?
It's actually no different than with emails. You can show a pop-up on the site, explain that you're going to offer different special deals via text messages, and then that they're going to be the first one to get it. But the most successful way is on the checkout, where you can just have a checkbox underneath the phone field and just say like, hey, would you like to subscribe to our text messaging mailing? And that's it. It's not a big, a big mental breakthrough, it's completely the same, just with emails. Yeah. Because people don't want to learn new stuff, like visitors of your website, they don't want to learn new stuff, and you don't want to show them something revolutionary. You just have to keep it as things were before. Just introduce that it's not going to be with emails anymore, that it's going to be with text messages, which is even better, because old people, for example, they don't usually open emails. They don't even know usually they are really bad with emails. But with text messages, they're really keen on using them. They know how to use their phone. So it's a more personalized experience. So that's why people rather like to subscribe to their mailing lists. I mean, to their SMS mailing lists. Um, it's better that way.
Yeah. Okay, so putting it in checkout, I get that. That makes an awful lot of sense. And to be honest with you, I'm just thinking about all the websites that I've been on. Very few of them are doing SMS marketing. Very few of them ask if they can send me a text message. Is there, I guess, is there some kind of rules and regulations? Like email is very highly regulated. You know, we've got GDPR now in Europe and all that sort of stuff. Does text messaging fall under the same banner? Do we have to, think about things like compliance and GDPR compliance and user permission?
Yeah, GDPR does comply in this case. There's also a special regulation in the US. But regarding text messages, it's more in a way that even specific countries have their own regulations. So it needs to be checked if you can send them or not. I mean, you are safe if you show a checkbox, underneath the phone field on the checkout that you ask them if they comply to receiving them. But if you want to optimize your marketing, you can check in each specific country if the checkbox can be pre-selected or if it even needs to be shown, So in that way, you need to check those stuff out to optimize marketing. And then there's, of course, the option to send post-purchase text messages or win-back or campaigns to your existing clients, to your existing, to the people that already bought on your site. There is a question regarding if you can contact them without their consent. Because if someone has already bought something on your site, they had to check that they comply with the regulations of the website of how they operate. And if you have that inside in the privacy policy written, in that case, you might be able to send them text messages in that specific country.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to carry on this conversation very, very shortly about SMS messaging. But first, here is a quick message from this week's show sponsors.
Hey there, are you a business owner? Here at Aurion Digital, we know firsthand that running an e-commerce business can be really hard work. As the online space gets more competitive, it is becoming even more challenging to stay ahead of the curve. We totally get it. So we want to help you succeed by offering a wide range of services, from fulfillment, marketing, customer service, and even coaching and consulting, just so that you can do what matters most. Save yourself the time and the money and let us handle the day-to-day tasks. This way, you can run your business without having to worry about the boring stuff. So what do you say? Are we a good fit for each other? Come check us out at oriondigital.com and let us know what you think.
So, Tadej, before we were talking about permissions and how, a simple checkbox would be helpful and maybe updating the terms and conditions on your website. And obviously, you need to... What I don't want to do is get into giving all kinds of legal advice. We're just going to recommend people go check out rules for themselves. But these are some of the things that obviously people have, some of your clients have done before. So we've got the permission of the subscriber, right? They've ticked the checkbox, and we've got their permissions. Now, you mentioned about abandoned carts. Let's talk about that for a little bit. How can SMS marketing then help us reduce abandoned carts? How do you see it working effectively? What are some of the strategies there?
Well, it's simple. When someone abandons their cart, as soon as possible, you automatically send them a text message saying, hey, John, you forgot something in your cart. Or you can even go further saying like, hey, you forgot a basketball in your shopping cart. Don't forget to check out to complete your order before the stock runs out. There's a link in the text message. Mm-hmm. He clicks on the link, gets to the checkout. The checkout is already pre-filled with his information. Because that's the thing, like 70% of abandoned carts actually fill out the complete form. and then they abandon the cart. Because the reason behind that is that when you're on the phone, you write in all the information, then you get to the price point, or you see that the shipping is priced and additional fees and stuff like that, and then you leave the site. So that's why they fill out most of the form. Anyways, they get automatically redirected to the checkout that's already pre-filled with all their information. If you perhaps offer a discount, it's already embedded in the checkout, in the cart. So all they need to do is complete the order. Click complete. Usually what you do is you have 2-3 text messages set up. Like the first one is honestly just the best way for the first one is just to have it as a gentle reminder, not to offer any discount at all. And why I'm saying this is because that text message actually offers the best results. The first one with 0 discount, nothing special at all. Then the second one is usually with some kind of a discount or free shipping. Depends, on your shop, what's the bottleneck, why people don't complete the order. And then perhaps the third one, but they all should be spent in a quite small time span. For example, the first one after 5-10 minutes, 15 perhaps, if you have some kind of other upsell options as well on your site. Then the second one after 2 to 4 hours, something like that. And then the third one perhaps after 6-12 hours, something like, a short time span for the abandoned cart text message, because a lot of people actually...
So you've in effect sent 3 text messages in the same day.
Yeah. You do want to convince them to complete the order, and if a gentle reminder doesn't work, that means that they honestly don't want to buy it because of the price or something else. So it's best just to send them different offers to see which one is the one that converts. And then if you see, for example, that the, free shipping is the one that really converts, that means that your shipping costs are too high and maybe you should change them on your site. And that way you wouldn't even get so many abandoned carts in the end.
Yeah. That's really, that's a top tip right there. You look at, I like that. I like that a lot. So if you're sending out, free shipping text messages and your abandoned carts are converting as a result, check your shipping costs because maybe they are too high, and you can experiment with that a little bit. I think that's very clever. It's useful, I think, when you look at, these tactics like SMS messaging, and it gives you data which helps you make your website better. Do you know what I mean? And you can use it in multiple different ways. That sort of makes your website better, which I really like. I really like that. So the first text message is a sort of a gentle reminder. I like that phrase, a gentle reminder. The second one is maybe free shipping or a discount on the product. What would the third text message be?
Just a percentage. It can be a percentage discount, or a few of our users do a free gift. For example, complete your order and get a free gift with it. So that's one type of text message, but mostly it's just like they send, like the first one is free, the second one is discount or free shipping, and the second one is, if previously it was free shipping, now it's discount or a higher discount than previously. So nothing special, honestly. The free gift is just some alternative that some of our users do.
Okay. That's really, really fast. So all you need is 3 text messages for your abandoned cart. If they've still not purchased that day, is there a 4th text message the next day, or do you just kind of go, wait, just leave that person alone? They're obviously not that interested, or maybe put them in an email funnel somewhere.
Yeah, no, you just leave them alone, because if they didn't convert now, they just won't, They've got a text message there waiting for them if they decide to, but if that doesn't help, it's useless. You're just losing money at that point.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's helpful. So I can see how text messaging works for abandoned carts. I think one of the things that I'm deeply concerned about or deeply interested in is maybe a better way to put it when it comes to e-commerce, certainly on our sites, is the whole customer experience. You know, how do we make customer service better? How do we make the whole customer experience better? And I guess one of the ways that I see text messages being super helpful, and again, let me know what you think about this, is with simple things like shipping updates. Hi, we've got your order, your order shipped. Here's the tracking number, as well as sending that out by email. Are those text messages helpful, or should I not really think about those and just focus more on maybe marketing specific?
We don't actually do that with CartBoss. We don't offer that kind of support. But during the research, the number of products, the packages delivered is higher. When you do cash on delivery payment, there's a lot of people that don't actually just take the package. They decide not to even take it, so the post needs to bring it back. If you do use text messages to remind them, hey, your package is on the way, if I remember correctly, there was an increase in deliverability of the packages, but I don't recall how big it was. What the percentage was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does help. It does help.
I'm intrigued. Okay. I'm intrigued why you at CartBoss don't do that then. Is there a reason you've not gone down that road?
Yeah. There's a lot of different suppliers. For example, you've got DHL, GNS, and multiple different offers. Then you've got different those companies, that they offer billing and stuff like that. They also have like integrations with that. Our main focus is on sale, selling as much, recovering abandoned carts, growing your conversion rates. That's our main focus. After the sale has been done, we're just focusing on nurturing that client of yours, not doing the whole deliverability and everything. That's not our main goal. Our main goal is carts, CartBoss. So, yeah.
The clue, as they say, is in the name. Yes, no, I get that. And actually, you're right. The more I think about it, a lot of the mail companies that we use will actually send a text message to clients saying, are we going to deliver between 11 and 12 today or whatever? So you focus on sales. So you obviously, we've talked about cart abandonment. That's one area that we can use text message. And you've alluded to some other areas like wingback campaigns and stuff like that. So why don't you elaborate on maybe 2 or 3 other key areas that I should really think about text messages and maybe give us a bit of insight into strategy into those?
Well, wingback text messages are that simple. After you complete an order, we have a funnel, for example, that after 4 weeks after you completed an order, you get another text message saying, hey, thanks for being a loyal client of ours. Here's a coupon code for 20% off on anything on our site. And that's it. And they convert amazingly. You must take into account what kind of a website you have. These win-back text messages, they are useful, really useful. They have a return on investment of around 5,000%, but they are useful for brands. They're not useful for just like regular impulsive shops, where they sell a bunch of different stuff. You need to have a shop that's really focused on a specific thing, like clothing or stuff like that. But if you have a site like that, then you can just send each month a text message saying, hey, here's a coupon code. And the next month again, hey, here's a coupon code. It's good that the messages are different, because otherwise you just have like the default text messages, that text message that you get kind of used to, and you can even say to yourself, oh, this month I'm gonna get the same text message again with the coupon code. But otherwise, if you just change the text a bit each month, and yeah, done deal. People are just gonna convert because everybody is into those special offers, and text messages give you the results. Honestly, you can also do special landing pages, for example, for the recipients of text messages. And you can include a link in the Winback text message saying, hey, because you're a loyal customer, here, go on this link and choose 5 different products, and they are all discounted for you for 50%. Those type of messages also give amazing results, but mentioning this specific way, this is something that we collaborate with big brands and give them the idea to do something like that. We help them get the whole text message together so that they don't mess anything up. We talk to the developers to give them like a heads up, like, look, this would be a good way of doing it and stuff like that. Because it is important that you collaborate with companies. Even if we're a SaaS company, we do make calls to them just to optimize the whole process of conversions. Just to give you an example, if you've got a landing page, one pager where the order completion form is in the bottom, and at the top you've got the product details. We talk to the developers and explain to them, like, look, when someone receives a text message, they should be scrolled down completely to the bottom, not that they get just to the top of the page. And that affected the conversion rates drastically. If I remember correctly, it was somewhere around 20%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's important. Well, that's interesting that you would do. I like that specific landing pages for your SMS campaigns. I think is a clever idea. And testing the different offers and the different timeframes on the Winback messaging. So I've got abandoned cart. I've got a Winback messaging sequence. Is there another sequence that I should think of? Should I use it, for example, if I'm just doing? Should I use SMS, I guess, just for general offers or general, just sort of, like we'd send an email maybe once a month just going, oh, this is this, or this is a new product or something like that. Would you use SMS for that kind of general stuff?
Yeah, you would. But the thing is that we haven't gone down that path yet, because when we did we do a lot of research before we do fresh functionality. The results from other companies weren't that good at all. You didn't get a return of investment of 5,000% or 2,400%. You got a lower percentage. You got like 800% or even less. So one thing that we do have is post-purchase text messages, meaning exactly after order has been completed, just like 5 minutes afterwards, send a text message. And those are also really, really successful. Those get, depending on the site as well, again, but those get a return of investment of around 3,000%, which is also quite nice. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what does a post-purchase sequence look like?
Honestly, that's not even a sequence. That's usually just one text message or perhaps 2 text messages. But it's just, hey, John, thanks for buying at us. Here's a link to a product page. Select any product you want. That's one example. Or the second one is, hey, thanks for buying this product. Would you be interested in this and this and this? And there's just a link inside. Of course, the product needs to be quite cheap so that they complete the order or have the 50% off or 90% off even. But yeah, it's almost exactly the same like with emails when you do post-purchase post-purchase marketing. Just that here you usually want to be more personal, faster, because you know that the response is going to be immediate. But otherwise, nothing that special, honestly. Just that it's text messages.
So what you're saying today is that, or what I'm hearing is that SMS marketing for e-commerce businesses is remarkably simple, and remarkably effective when you just focus on one or two key areas, and don't really try and make it anything more complicated, which marketeers are brilliant at trying to do, aren't they? Let's just make this more complicated than it needs to be. Why? Because we just want to. And so one of the things that you mentioned, actually, which I just want to pick up on in our pre-call, so the call we do before we do the podcast, is that text message marketing is more effective in some countries than in others, for example. And you mentioned that a few, I can't remember the countries that you mentioned now, but I just remember you pointing out that actually that in certain countries, SMS messaging was super, super effective. So if you were operating in those countries, you definitely need to take advantage of it. So what countries does SMS messaging work super well at the moment?
Yeah, you've got Poland, Czechia, Hungary. Poland, I did mention. I mean, honestly, there's most countries that operate amazing. Then there's countries that are, for example, Germany isn't that good because they're not into that kind of thing. They don't enjoy receiving a text message all of a sudden. Austria is also not that good, which is kind of similar. So those two countries aren't that good. But otherwise, you've got, for example, there's Italy that's a bit low on the performance, but do keep in mind, low in performance for us means that it's somewhere between under 2,400% and definitely above 1,600%. So return of investment. So yeah, do keep in mind that. And all other countries are usually roughly around 2,400%, but there are countries that do get like 3,000%, 4,000%, and somewhere around that. But honestly, you cannot mess things up. You have nothing to lose. And that's why we did like, look, just register and we'll give you $50 free credits. Just try it out and you'll see how it goes. And because, you know, people are just like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to lose money and everything. And yeah, no, you're not. You're definitely not going to lose money. Even if you operate in Germany, you will not lose money with us. I mean, just the return on investment won't be as high as 2,400%.
Yeah, I guess the response here, of course, is you've got to test it, haven't you, and see what works for you and your business, your website, your product, and your customers, really, and see whether they're into the whole SMS thing. But it seems like you say like a bit of a no-brainer. So I guess how to if I'm an e-commerce entrepreneur, I'm in business, I'm kind of interested in the numbers. They all seem a little bit too good to be true. So I'm curious. I want to try this. How can an e-commerce business start using SMS marketing? What's a good place to sort of begin?
Well, you just have to type in on Google CartBoss to get to us, because the thing is that why we're different than everybody else is because we've got everything already prepared. Meaning we've got the WooCommerce plugin, Shopify app, custom software development kit that can be quite easily implemented. And we're doing additional add-ons for different platforms. But that's not, I mean, that is important because otherwise you wouldn't have an instant integration. With us, you just write in the API key and that's it. The text messages are already prepared and translated, so, I mean, you can write your own if you want, but otherwise you've got everything already set up. We detect the language of the recipient, so you don't need to do any settings. You just connect your site. The recipients will always get their text message in their own language. And because they're already written and translated and tested, everything works out of the box. The links are automatically detected for, the link to the checkout. So everything is there. You honestly just connect your site, done. Of course, you can choose what kind of text message you want to send, what the kind of delay, what the discount amount, but otherwise, yeah, it's when they say it's a 5-minute integration, and then it boils it down to being a 10-15-minute integration. It's not, this isn't a 5-minute integration. It's, I don't know, it's a 2-minute integration, including the registration. You just connect your site, install the plugin, put in the API key, activate 2 different text messages, done. You don't even have to think about it. And the thing is that our solution is so that simple that we get actually a lot of questions like, hey, where do you set the language? I mean, I know that it's written that everything is already prepared and translated, but what do you actually mean by that? And then we need to explain, everything is on automatic, completely automatic, on autopilot. You don't have to even think about it. After they go through the shock of being so simple to integrate it in their WooCommerce or Shopify store, they're just like, this is amazing. This is just amazing. It's so simple. And then we usually get, occasionally we do get after 2 or 3 days, a text message from them or an email saying just like, whoa, this really works. This is insane. And they show their results, they send us their return of investment and everything. And I'm like, yeah, you finally believe me now. But yeah, it's honestly really good.
Brilliant. Well, that's how you get set up. So if I was going to summarize this, what is a good SMS marketing strategy? What I've heard today, and correct me if I'm wrong, is number one, obviously you need to set up some kind of system, whether it's with CartBoss or somebody else, but CartBoss seems pretty straightforward. Number two, you're going to have to get permission from your users and figure that out. Number three, you're going to have to set up some sequences. So your abandoned cart sequence, your win-back sequence, and your post-purchase sequence seem like 3 good things to sort of start. Obviously, your system has already got those included, but make sure they're going to work for you and your clients. Number 4, test your results. And then number 5, send today a text message a few weeks later going, yeah, actually, this really works. And that seems to me to be a great SMS marketing strategy. Is there anything that I've missed there? But
No, just don't waste time. Just do it, as soon as possible, because the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to get better results, and just demolish your marketing. I mean, you're just going to grow.
I like that. Demolish your marketing. That's a brilliant phrase. Listen, today I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. I really have. And I guess there's going to be people with questions that want to reach out, want to connect. So if people want to connect with you and get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
You can send me an email, which is weird because we do text messages, but now I say send me an email. Email on info@CartBoss. info@cartboss.io. That's one way. They can contact me via LinkedIn. Anyway, actually is okay. We've got a contact form on our website. You can do it there as well. Anything goes, actually. And we usually respond within 1 day. So yeah, don't be scared. Just contact us.
Great. Wonderful. Make sure you do too. If you've got any questions, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. We will, of course, put all of the links to Tadej in the show notes, and you'll be able to reach out to him and ask your questions. Yeah, but like you said, do it. Get started. I'd love to know the results as well. So if you are going to implement SMS marketing, please do let us know how you get on. I think today, all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute privilege to talk to you, a real treat, and I'm curious to see the impact of this for our show listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was really nice. Thanks.
So there you have it. What a fantastic conversation. Huge thanks again to Tadej for joining me. Don't forget to check out our complete back catalogue online. Just head on over to the e-commerce. I keep saying that, don't I? Whenever I do this segment of the show, it's not the ecommercepodcast.net. I am going to buy that domain now because I've said it so many times. Check out ecommercepodcast.net is the right domain. And there you can subscribe to the show. We'll let you know what's coming up. You can check out all the back issues. Is it back issues? Back catalogue? Back catalogue is probably the right phrase of the e-commerce podcast, because we've got well over 100 episodes now, all devoted to helping you get better online. Don't I need to put my teeth back in. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast from, because we have some great conversations lined up and I don't want you to miss any of them. And in case no one has told you today, you, my friend, are awesome.